Hello my acceptable people, this is me, Mr. Acceptable. Today we're going to be making a money tin out of a Pringles tube. Obviously the simple way would be just to, lift the lid off and put money in and use it like that, but that would be boring. So today we're actually going to do something really crafty, actually crafty. We're going to turn this into a money box that is, quite nice. So to make this Pringles money box, you need the following things: a Pringles tube, a crafting knife. If you are a child that's quite young, or you're young, or you're not comfortable with knives, do get someone that is responsible, i.e. an adult or a friend who is older and can use these better. You will need some paint. I just picked up acrylic paint because it was the only one that I could find black. Anything that's non-toxic it can work fine, but whatever you want to use, but I would recommend something like acrylic paint. We need a paintbrush, obviously, to paint the paint onto the Pringles tube. We need something soft for cutting, so you don't cut the surface below. And you need a bit of some material that you're not gonna want, that you just can throw away, to put over the desk or wherever your workspace, just so no paint gets anywhere. It wouldn't really matter if I got it here because the surface is black, but I still don't want to get paint everywhere. So that's what we're gonna do there. Okay, so the first step is cutting the lid. We will need the cloth for this step, the crafting knife, and the lid of the Pringles tube. Pretty simple. First of all, you want to set out your cloth. You can double layer it if you want, which I'm gonna do now. In fact, because of the width, I can actually layer it like that and rest it on top. So you want to get the lid, place it on the cloth facing outwards, so the little sticky out bit faces up, and you get your crafting knife ready. Okay, so now that you've set up your cloth and your Pringles lid that's facing upwards, like so, you want to cut it. So we're gonna see how long the 50p is by the knife, measure it out. Obviously, if you're watching this and you're a kid, please get an adult to do this because it's quite dangerous. So yeah, about as long as the knife, so we can cut as long as the knife. So what you want to do is make two lines, so like cut it down across and then down across again, go in the same way, and then cut the edge. It's quite difficult to do and it's easy to split it, so be extra careful. Make sure the corners are cut properly before you pull it out, otherwise you'll rip the lid and it will be no good. So you cut that out. So we've cut that out. Mine's a bit rough, but yeah, we've cut a slot into it. I don't know if you can see that. So that's like where the money goes. It's a bit messy, but it doesn't really matter. It is DIY, so that's the whole fun of it. So now we can test out if the coin fits in it. So the moment of truth. Perfect, it fits in there perfect. See, it's all about guessing the size of it. So we got the lid that we just cut. So yeah, make sure you get an adult to do it, guys. Make sure you get a responsible adult. Please do not try and use a knife. I really, truly mean that. I do not want anyone hurting themselves. So yeah, you grab the tube and you can just peel off the lid bit here. And then you can place that on top. And you've got a working money box that actually makes a kind of a good noise when you first start it out. So here we have it. We have a Pringles money tube, but we're not finished there because I don't want to see Pringles every time I pop in money. So what we're gonna do is actually paint it. Okay, for the next step, you need the Pringles tube without the lid because we do not want to paint the lid. We will want that clear. We want the acrylic paint or whatever paint you're using, whatever color. I wanted purple, but there was no purple, so I just stuck with black because I got a lot of black stuff in my room, so it will fit in nicely. And we want the material to paint on, and obviously we need a paintbrush because you need to paint with a paintbrush, not your fingers, because that will get really messy. You could paint with your fingers, that's called finger painting. Now that's a completely different arts and crafts. But yeah, let's just paint this. Yeah, we got it all laid out and prepared for painting. We've got all the material down so the work surface doesn't get paint on it. We've got our brush, got our paint, we've got our tube, we're all ready to go. You could use a tub to squirt the paint in, but I know a little technique which is, you know, it's not really a technique, it's just more of an easier, you know, way of painting stuff instead of using another tub so then you have to clean it later. But yeah, what we're gonna do is just literally open up the paint. I don't know if this has anything on it. It should have like a little bit of foil on the end. Just grab that. That took really long to get that bit of foil off, and yeah, that took longer than expected. You don't realize it took about 5 minutes just to get that little bit of foil off. But anyways, to start painting, you know, you want to get straight in, but for my little technique, what you want to do is put a line of paint, not too long, like so. Oh, do the lid up. Be careful because it can roll, obviously, because it's a tube. Luckily, we've put down the material. So yeah, you get a line and you literally just brush it on. Turning it as you go around. Just give it a nice coating. What you can then do is stand it up, painting it downwards. I don't know if you can see that. So you can get every side. It's quite messy, but that's the fun. Look, it's sprayed everywhere there. Get a good dollop of it. Smartles will get messy.
This is my favorite part, right here.
Painted, you want to leave it for quite a long time. You know, the longer the better. So about an hour, 2 hours, you know, depending on the temperature, you know, or you can leave it outside for an hour. But I'll just leave it there for about, you know, as long as you want until you are satisfied that it's dried. But the main thing is, wash your hands, wash the paintbrush. So I'll see you guys in a moment. So we are back. The money tube is kind of dry, well, pretty close to dry. So yeah, this is how you turn a regular Pringles tube into a money pot. So what I'm gonna do now is grab my money that I wanna put in the tube and just start filling it up. So yeah, there's your money tube. Please like and share this video as always, because that would be most acceptable. And whatever you do, just make it acceptable. Goodbye. I'm gonna continue on with this. You can go now, by the way. Go on, the video's finished.